The most popular girl in school got rejected after asking out the campus bad boy. She was so humiliated she made every girl in our class go ask him out too. Her logic was that if everyone got rejected, she wouldn't stand out so much. Looking at the fresh $10,000 that just hit my account, I quietly got in line. The guys were tempted too, but the popular girl wouldn't give them the time of day. And so, every single day, the bad boy from the class next door got a love confession from a girl in my class. Without fail, he would coldly reply with 2 words, "Get lost." I was the last one. Leo. Before I could even finish, the bad boy shot to his feet, blushing, and nearly knocked over his desk and chair. "Sis, don't mess with me. My brother will kill me. I'm the long-lost daughter with all the bad luck. My foster parents favored their son and worked me like a dog my whole childhood. When my birth parents took me in at 18, I thought my life was finally turning around. Turns out, this family was completely backward. Everyone from my so-called parents down to the house staff doted on the fake daughter, Jessica. Just because Jessica wanted it, they threw me into an elite prep school against my will. Thankfully, she saw I wasn't going to cause any trouble and left me alone. And my new classmates didn't pay much attention to a background character like me. My desk mate, Maddie, was the most popular girl in school and a total sucker for a pretty face. Just a couple of days ago she was crushing on some upperclassman with a brooding, intellectual vibe, and today she was obsessed with the cold, aloof bad boy. In a month, she'd racked up more crushes than I have fingers, and never the same guy twice. It was PE. And after free time, most of the girls headed back to the classroom. I was about to put my head down for a nap when I heard Maddie and her friends chirping away. "Whoa. You guys, look. Isn't that Leo? Let me see, let me see. The back of his head looks like him. Ah, he's turning around. It is Leo. He's so hot." I couldn't help but peek, then silently flopped my head back onto my desk. Leo was leaning against a tree with his arms crossed, staring off into the distance. Yeah, he was handsome. But not really my type. He might be a bad boy, but seriously, that face, that body. Girl, wipe your drool. Oh, you're so annoying. You made me think I was actually drooling. Hey, friends' crushes are off limits, you know? Huh? What? When did the bad boy get a girlfriend? Who is it? Maddie just said she's into him. Said she'd give up the entire forest for him. Both of them turned to look at Maddie. Maddie stomped her foot coyly. Oh, stop. I haven't even asked him out yet. I rubbed the goosebumps on my arms and went back to playing dead. This is your chance. It's a beautiful, sunny day perfect for a confession. Spurred on by her friends, Maddie marched off, face flushed, to ask out the bad boy. Suddenly, I wasn't sleepy anymore. Like me, a lot of people in the classroom suddenly perked up. We all quietly gathered by the windows, ready to witness the great love story of the popular girl and the bad boy. Well, she went over there blushing, and she came back with her eyes red and puffy. The whole confession probably took less than 30 seconds. The bad boy's response was a single phrase. Get lost. You all saw that, didn't you? Maddie's expression was murderous, but her voice was thick with tears. Ah, the poor girl, suffering from a broken heart. All of you, starting tomorrow, you're going to go confess to Leo. One a day. No one gets to skip. I spoke too soon. She was a domineering girl. This is for your trouble. I looked at the fresh 10,000 that had just appeared on my phone and silently slapped myself. Wrong again. She was my sugar mama. The guys nearby perked up at the sound of money. Maddie, maybe Leo is actually into guys. Maddie rolled her eyes. Get lost. As expected, the bad boy rejected everyone. His response was always the same cold get lost. Leo was good looking, so it was normal for girls to confess to him. But having girls from the same class confess to him for more than 10 days in a row? That was something else. Maddie's plan was a huge success. No one cared that she'd been rejected anymore. They were all busy speculating about the conspiracy behind the daily confessions. Finally, it was my turn, the last in line. It was my first time asking someone out, and even though I was getting paid, I was still nervous. But to my surprise, the bad boy was more nervous than I was. I had just walked up to him and managed to get out the name Leo, when he shot up from his seat, face bright red. The desk nearly flipped, sending books and sunflower seeds scattering across the floor. "Sis, don't mess with me. My brother will kill me." "I'm not. I didn't. I don't even know your brother." "Wait, I'm not even dating anyone. I didn't know a single soul when I moved here, aside from a cat. Where would I even find a boyfriend?" I tried my 3-part denial, but it was useless. Leo quickly clamped a hand over his mouth. "Oh, right. You guys aren't going public yet. My bad, my bad. What the hell? Who is your brother?" No matter how many times I asked, Leo kept his mouth shut. The gossip-hungry onlookers didn't dare mess with the bad boy, so they turned all their firepower on me. I was famous, I guess. For the next few weeks, my life was hell. I suspect this was Leo's revenge. But Maddie was the one who paid for it and came up with the plan, so why was he getting back at me? It's not fair. Because of what Leo said, I was summoned home from school the second class ended. For once, the car that usually picked up Jessica hadn't left yet. It looked like they were waiting specifically for me. I was practically flattered. Looks like I wouldn't have to ride a bike share home tonight. In the car, Jessica was dripping with sarcasm. I never would have guessed. All that quiet girl stuff was just an act, wasn't it? She leaned in. "Chloe, don't think you can steal Mom and Dad's love just because you've hooked up with the Gu family. In their hearts, I'm the real daughter." Arguing with Jessica was a bad idea, so I just sat quietly in the back seat and waited for the driver to start the car. Seeing that I wasn't taking the bait, Jessica let out a humph and finally quieted down. A car is definitely faster than a bike. We were home in what felt like no time. As expected, I was greeted by an interrogation. "Let's hear it. Who are you dating?" Leo's family seemed even wealthier than the Lins, but I didn't know the details. No one in this house would ever talk to me about things like that. The bits and pieces I knew, I'd overheard from classmates. "I'm not dating anyone," I replied meekly. Jessica whined, clinging to our mother's arm. "Mom, Dad, I already asked her on the way home, but she won't say anything." Technically, Jessica was born after me, so she should call me her older sister. But the Lins wouldn't even let her suffer that tiny inconvenience, so they made me call her sister to please her. Looking at how close they were, I knew I'd probably never get that kind of affection in my life. "You're not dating anyone? Then why would the young Mr.Gu say something like that? Spit it out, now." My father snapped, slamming his hand on the table. "What are you doing? You'll scare Jessica. Besides, doesn't your hand hurt?" Mom immediately grabbed his hand to inspect it, and Jessica leaned in to blow on it gently. What a heartwarming scene. Too bad I was in it. "Just tell us the truth. You see how upset you've made your father. It's not like we're going to hurt you. You finally managed to latch onto the Gu family, so don't be coy. If you tell us, we can help you strategize and make sure you contribute to the family while he's still interested." Mom's face was hard, her tone a world away from a moment ago. "I really don't know anyone from the Gu family." I lowered my head, avoiding their sharp gazes, and twisted my fingers together. I have no idea why Leo said that. They exchanged a look and let out a disappointed sigh. And here I thought we could finally get a connection to the Gu family. What a useless thing. Come on, we shouldn't have gotten our hopes up in the first place. True. I haven't heard of that younger son having any other brothers. And getting involved with some distant cousin wouldn't be much use anyway. We're better off finding a suitable arranged marriage for her later. It could help the company grow. Even though I never expected any affection from them, it still hurt to be appraised like a piece of merchandise. Mom, Dad, are you going to find an arranged marriage for Jessica, too? I couldn't stop myself from asking. I thought, maybe if they treated us the same, I could accept it. But I was destined for disappointment. Mom shrieked, how could we? Jessica is our precious baby. She doesn't need to be married off. My Jessica will find someone from a good family, a man of character and talent, someone she truly loves. Dad also warned me sternly, Jessica is not like you. You'd better drop whatever little schemes you're plotting. We took you in, and we can just as easily throw you out. I laughed at my own foolishness and gave a faint reply. I understand. I won't ever have such naive thoughts again. No one called me for dinner. Clutching my growling stomach, I started to feel a pang of regret. They definitely wouldn't save any food for me. I wasn't that important. The kitchen fridge was always cleared out after dinner, so there was nothing. As for snacks and things, they all had their own mini fridges and pantries in their rooms. Everyone but me. I shouldn't have let my pride get in the way. Just as I was wallowing in regret, I heard a scratching at my window. I immediately jumped out of bed to open it. I'd almost forgotten. My little guy comes back almost every night. Mimi, you're back. Wow. Did you bring me something yummy? I scooped up the big, pure black cat, which had a small bag in its mouth. After taking the bag, I gave him a ton of scratches and rubs. I found Mimi on the side of the road on my way home from school not long after I first came to the Lynns. He was a bloody mess, abandoned and too weak to even meow. I don't know why, but when I saw him, I felt like I was looking at myself. Suddenly, I just had to help. I worked up the courage to wrap him in my jacket and rushed him to the nearest vet. He was lucky. The vet said it was a miracle he survived such bad injuries. His will to live was incredibly strong. Saving him cost me almost all the money I'd ever saved up. Practically broke, I had no choice but to take him home with me. On the way, I couldn't help but feel the sting of the vet bill, so I started rambling to him. Oh, little kitty, I spent my life savings on you. You'd better repay me big time. You know, you're a handsome little guy. How about you marry me to repay the favor, hee hee. The next day, he vanished like a deadbeat boyfriend. I thought that was the end of our story, but he came back a week later. And after that, he came back every single night through my window, never once letting the Lynns find out. One time, I complained to him about how hungry I got at night, and the very next evening, he brought me all sorts of pastries and snacks. He was just the sweetest. Worried he was stealing from people, I tied a small cloth pouch around his neck with some spare change inside and spent a long time seriously explaining that he had to pay for things he took. Mostly, I was afraid he'd get beaten to death. My little kitty is very smart, and the people who gave him the food were nice, too. Because after several months, I noticed the money in the pouch had barely decreased. If it weren't for a $50 bill being swapped for 20s, 10s, and 1s, I would have thought he wasn't paying at all. Meow. The cat stretched his neck out, enjoying my scratches, before wiggling free and jumping onto the desk. Meow. He sat on the desk and patted the bag with his paw, signaling me to hurry up and eat. Such a good boy. I know, I'm eating. I opened the package. It was a steaming hot baked curry beef with rice and 2 all-meat sausages. I gave one of the sausages to my hard-working little kitty before starting on my own late-night feast. I wasn't completely ignored. I had my Mimi, who loved me. And now, I had money too. With money and love, asking for anything more would be greedy. Full and content, I cleaned up, snuggled into bed with my little cat, and started ranting about Leo. Mimi, Leo was so out of line. He totally slandered me, saying I have a boyfriend. I don't even know who his brother is, and he called me sis in front of so many people. I can already imagine how many people are going to come stare at me like I'm a zoo animal. Ugh, I hope they don't bother me when I'm trying to study in the library. My little cat would meow in agreement every so often. When he heard me mention the library, his body tensed for a split second. That night, I didn't notice that after I fell asleep, the cat licked my chin and left. The next day at noon, I was heading to the library to do my homework after lunch when someone blocked my path. Sis, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Boo-hoo, I shouldn't have blabbed about your relationship. I promise no one will bother you about it. Can you please put in a good word with my brother for me? Tell him to stop hitting me. I really can't take a beating. Was this bruised, swollen, limping person in front of me really Leo? I quickly looked down and bit my lip hard, trying not to laugh. The once cool, gloomy-looking handsome guy now had a face like a painter's palette, covered in scratches. If you didn't know any better, you'd think he'd been attacked by a feral cat. Leo, I really don't know your brother. And you won't tell me who he is when I ask, so I can't plead your case even if I wanted to. I managed to suppress my laughter and explained with a straight face. My brother is, Leo ground his teeth, pointing to his face. Isn't it obvious? Honestly, it doesn't look like a person beat you up. It looks more like you got in a fight with a cat. I said it casually, but Leo shot me a miserable look that screamed, I don't get you lovebirds and your weird games. I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. I spoke cautiously. Your brother is a cat. Haven't you two basically promised yourselves to each other? My brother told our parents ages ago. In the library, for the first time ever, I couldn't read a single word. My mind was reeling with what Leo had said. The pen in my hand accidentally slipped and fell at the feet of the person across from me. A long, fair hand picked it up and silently handed it back. Only then did I notice the person sitting opposite me. He was a clean-cut guy in a gray hoodie, giving off a vibe of I'm very gentle and easy to bully, the complete opposite of Leo. But looking closely, I could see a faint resemblance to Leo in his features. And those eyes were so damn familiar. Mimi? I blurted out. The guy's neck flushed pink, and he nervously clasped his hands. Can you call me Ryan? You can call me Mimi at night. Case closed. My regular library study buddy was my own little kitty, who disappeared every day. I thought in a daze, thank God I didn't let the vet neuter him. That evening, my little cat appeared right on schedule, a bag still dangling from his mouth. Meow. I didn't rush to pick him up. He circled my feet, rubbing against me affectionately. Ryan, can you turn into a person? We need to talk. During the day, I'd chickened out and run away. The little black cat hesitated for a moment, then nodded. And then, a person materialized out of thin air. A naked one. I threw my hands over my eyes, turned around, and shrieked, "Why aren't you wearing clothes?" He was startled by my shout and explained defensively, "Transforming doesn't come with clothes." In the end, he wore my pajamas. Why did you tell your family that we, pledged our lives to each other? You were the one who said I should marry you to repay you. I didn't know you could turn into a person. I took a deep breath and continued my interrogation. The library. You were always sitting across from me, weren't you? Why didn't you tell me who you were? And most importantly, you're a person, so why did you pretend to be a cat and sleep with me? Ryan first nodded obediently, then explained, "My parents said I should wait for you to find out and ask. They said telling you directly would scare you." As for the last question, he looked even more hurt. You don't like people. You said cats were better to hold, that they were comfortable to sleep with. Something felt off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Ryan, the marry me thing was a joke. I thought you were a little kitty who could keep me company. I am a cat. I can always keep you company. I rubbed my temples, trying to explain patiently, people can't be in a relationship with cats. It's cross-species. But I can turn into a person. We can be in a relationship. Good grief. He was completely stubborn, and his logic was flawless. Ryan, for two people to be in a relationship, They have to like each other. His eyes welled up. Don't we like each other? I like you, and you said you liked me, that you liked holding me when you sleep, and you're always kissing me, and petting me. God knows how devastating that was, hearing him say all that while wearing my yellow nightgown. I was almost convinced. It's different. I didn't know you were a person back then. My feelings for you were like, for a pet. His eyes dimmed. Is my human form not handsome enough? I knew it. I shouldn't have turned into a person. If I stay a cat, can we go back to how we were before? He looked so pitiful. I'm sorry. I give up. After Ryan's eager confession, I felt like I had to relearn how the world worked. He said his family had the bloodline of cat spirits and that in each generation, 1 or 2 lucky ones would awaken their powers. In his family, he and his dad were the lucky ones. He had to go to school during the day too, but it was a special school for demon kin run by the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs. His lunch breaks at the library were times he'd snuck out to find me. And at night? As the owner of a cat with a record, I had to ask. Sure enough, his answer confirmed it. I was supposed to board at the school at night, but now I have you. I told my parents, and they applied for me to be a day student. It's not safe for you here alone. I still wasn't thick-skinned enough. Ryan's direct confessions were making me blush. Won't that affect your studies? I'm fine here. There are so many servants, it's very safe. Maybe you should go back to boarding. Ryan shook his head firmly. I can sense the aura of a strange shadow demon here. I can't rest easy. A shadow demon? What's that? My eyes widened in shock. How did I go from discovering one supernatural being to having them pop up everywhere? A type of demon that controls people through suggestion and hypnosis. If the hypnosis is deep enough, they can even possess the person and take over their body. Was the world really this dangerous? Do you know who it is? Can you beat it? I was filled with worry. I was only 18, in the prime of my youth. I didn't want to die so young. Seeing Ryan shake his head made me even more anxious. I haven't seen any other demons here, so I can't tell. Do you think it could be Jessica? I'm the family's real daughter, but my parents are obsessed with her, like they're under a spell. I wasn't just saying that out of jealousy. No matter what Jessica did, they would defend her blindly, without ever thinking of correcting her. Even when I was being worked like a dog at my foster parents' house, they still taught me a few things about how to be a decent person. And the servants in the house, their attitude towards Jessica was overly deferential. Like maids serving a princess in a TV show. I can't say for sure. Ryan frowned, wrestling with the thought. We should report it to the BSA. As a black cat, he had a natural resistance to evil spirits. He had thought he could handle the faint demonic aura in the room by himself. But after hearing what I said, he was having second thoughts. The Bureau of Supernatural Affairs worked fast. The next night, when they launched their operation, they told me not to go home so I wouldn't get caught in the crossfire. So, a very happy Ryan took me back to his house. I had just agreed to date him, and now I was meeting his parents with 0 buffer time. I was a wreck. You must be Chloe, right? Such a beautiful child. Come in, come in. I wasn't sure what you liked to eat, so I had the cook make a little of everything. Ryan's parents were waiting at the door and greeted me warmly the moment they saw me. Leo wasn't with us. He'd gotten home earlier and was now staring at us with a mournful expression. Their warmth felt so much more sincere than the welcome I'd received from my own parents when I first came to the Lynns. After dinner, Ryan pulled me into his room. His mother's words were still echoing in my head. Thank you for making Ryan want to be human. You're our family's savior. What did your mom mean by that? Ryan dodged the question, but after I gave him a stern look, he finally came clean. I don't like my human form. I never transformed into it before I was 16. Being human is so much trouble. You have to wear clothes and learn to walk all over again. You run so slow, you're not flexible at all. My cat form is way more convenient, and I don't get hurt as easily in fights. I know you won't date a cat, so I'm willing to be human now. He looked so nervous, like he thought I was going to break up with him on the spot. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. That time I found you, how did you get so hurt? Well, I snuck out of school and had the bad luck to run into a powerful fugitive demon. That was some seriously bad luck. He'd run into a notorious demon who'd been on the run for decades. I used a life-saving charm my dad gave me to seriously injure him and get away. I left because I was afraid he'd follow me and put you in danger. After he got back, he immediately had his family report it to the BSA. While the demon was still injured and couldn't hide easily, the BSA launched a search at the location Ryan provided and finally captured the menace. I had been worried his parents would look down on a Cinderella like me, but it turned out I was more like their knight in shining armor. The BSA was all about efficiency. The battle was over in one night. The result, however, was a bit of a surprise. The shadow demon wasn't Jessica. The big boss was actually the butler, Mr. Wanga, curious shadow demon who'd gotten interested in the whole real versus fake daughter drama. According to his confession, he wanted to personally direct a real-life soap opera of the two daughters fighting and had chosen the Lin family for his stage. I wasn't even related to the Lins. The DNA results had been faked by him. He was disappointed that Jessica and I weren't in violent conflict, and he was planning to bring in another real daughter to replace me. But he was caught by the BSA before he had the chance. I was stunned. So, my foster parents are my real parents? Ryan's mom shook her head. No, the report saying you weren't related to them was real. As for your birth parents, he didn't know either. I couldn't tell if I was disappointed or something else, but my heart felt heavy. What will happen to the Lins? I had lived in their house for a while, after all. I didn't want anything bad to happen to them. If we weren't related, then their attitude was, I suppose, understandable. Once the shadow demon is gone, they'll be unconscious for 3 or 4 days, but then they'll wake up. I forced a smile and nodded. Chloe, why don't you live with us from now on? That boy Ryan is set on you, and we adore you. Just think of us as your aunt and uncle, and be our daughter. I was pulled into a warm hug. I froze for a second before letting myself relax into it, not wanting to pull away. But a moment later, I was transferred to another, leaner embrace. Ryan muttered unhappily, Mom, Chloe is mine. Mine. If you want a daughter, go have one yourselves. You little brat, how dare you talk to your mother like that? His dad said, pretending he was about to hit him. My face was burning. I quickly pushed him away. Thank you, sir, ma'am. Seeing Ryan was about to act up again, I grabbed his hand, and he finally settled down. Thank you for having me. 4 days later, Jessica found me during a break between classes. I'm so sorry. I said a lot of awful things before, and I got you in trouble with my parents. I smiled and shook my head. You were being controlled, too. My parents and I did another DNA test. I'm really not their biological child. But I swear, I never had any intention of bullying the real daughter to fight for their affection. I already took her place and enjoyed so much love. You can't be greedy. Do you think I'm being fake? Jessica was smiling, but I thought she was about to cry. I didn't answer. I just reached out and gave her a hug. I'm scared to tell anyone. In their eyes, I'm the one who did all those things. And I'm scared to tell my parents. I'm afraid they'll hold it against me, that they'll think I'm the kind of person who would bully their real daughter. I didn't know anything, why did that demon have to do this to me? I just listened quietly. Right now, all she needed was a listener. An uninvited guest suddenly appeared. Sis, are you okay? Jessica, are you bullying my Sayu? Leo came running over, his voice preceding him. When he saw Jessica buried in my arms, he instantly shut up. Anyway, haha. Wrong way. You guys carry on, carry on. He didn't get far before turning back. Sis, you're still gonna like my brother later, right? I shot him a death glare. Leo scurried away. After her awkward moment passed, Jessica suddenly laughed. I never knew the school's bad boy could be so funny. She pulled back and wiped her tears. I actually came to find you for something important. My parents said you were dragged into this mess because of us, and they want to invite you over for dinner to apologize. Jessica gave a playful smile. But seeing how nervous your family is about you, I think I can guess the answer. I smiled back. I was never angry with you. We were all victims. She took out her phone and wiggled it. Well then, fellow victim, want to exchange numbers? We can form a victims alliance. I didn't refuse. After adding her, I transferred all the money Maddie had paid me. I know you guys spent more on me than this, but this is all I can afford to give back. The money is paid, the debt is cleared. From now on, let's start fresh. When I got back to the goo house, Ryan's video call came through right on time. There were still beads of sweat on his face. His usually gentle face had a new, wilder edge to it, which made him even more handsome. After his sassy comment to his mom, his dad had revoked his day student privileges. The excuse was ready-made. Chloe is living with us now. She has a driver to take her to and from school, and Leo is there to look after her. We don't need you. Ryan argued his case multiple times, but his dad, who was still holding a grudge, rejected every appeal. Before he left for school, he beat up Leo again for taking his spot. Then, on second thought, he beat him up again, threatening him to take good care of me and not let anyone bully me. Otherwise, when he came back for break, he'd beat him up again. I was dumbfounded. But Ryan's parents acted like it was perfectly normal. It's how the brothers communicate. They know how to hold back. The fact that Ryan is willing to be close with Leo now means he's willing to protect him in the future. Okay, the world of demons was beyond me. From then on, Ryan and I started a long-distance relationship. He was incredibly insecure and called me on video at the same time every day. Leo said you hugged someone. And you added them as a friend. Wow, he sold out his own brother just like that. A handsome face, teary-eyed, pressed close to the screen, accusing me of my terrible deeds. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It was a girl. And you know Jessica, right? I'm a cat. You even like cats, so what's wrong with a girl? I don't care, you're not allowed to like anyone else. You're mine. I'll let you call me Mimi, okay? When I get back, I'll even wear your clothes for you. Can you please just like only me? I made a mental note to get back at that tattletale Leo. I grit my teeth. Time to comfort him. What could I do? I really was in love with this clingy little kitten.